Top of the morning. Top of the morning. I feel, I had hair on my head for so long, for these past couple of months, that I'm looking at. I feel kind of weird, man. That, I brought the baldy back. I brought back the baldy. I had to, though, y'all. I was looking at my feet. My sneakers was real dirty. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm just looking at my hairline and shit. And, when I go to Instacart to work, I pretty much wear the same cargo shorts every day and shit. But, I switch up my shirts. But I was looking at myself and I'm like, yo, I'm feeling like mad homeless right now. I gotta change. This shit gotta change. You know what I mean? So I caught me 2 pairs of, I only wear white sneakers. I pretty much buy the same shoes every time. I'm not a sneakerhead and nothing like that. So I caught me some all white Adidas because the store, I really wanted the white Air Max. I love them shoes. And the Eblins at the Capaco ain't have them. So I said, fuck it. I still want some white sneakers. So I copped these shits, the white Adidas. Then I went to the sneaker store in Flatbush and they had them. So I copped them, You know what I mean? Like your feet gotta look good and your hair gotta look good. So you see, the baldy is back. My job just started again. I actually, because I'm a chauffeur, and I actually got a trip that I got to do tomorrow. So work is starting to come back, so that's cool. But anyway, let me get on topic. Concerning that awful video that I'm sure all of us have been seeing the past couple of days, or yesterday, or what have you. Excuse me, a George Floyd being fucking choked out to death by the knee of his fucking asshole police officer. And no, they just said they recently got they have some new footage of him actually getting dragged out of his car. So he got dragged out of his car. You know what I'm saying? He got pinned. Oh, this dude is a dummy, yo. He got dragged out of his car. He got pinned down. And he got choked out. We've all seen the video. Then you see the Asian guy. The Asian guy, I gotta watch it a little. I don't want to watch it a little bit more, but look at his face. This dude look nervous and shit. Like he want to do something, but he doesn't do it. And it's just unfortunate. You know what I mean? Like, I understand like the idea of the golden handcuffs and the blue shield, and you're doing this job to support your family or what have you. So if you go against your coworkers or what they're doing, or you go against authority, that puts you in a position where you can lose those things, or you can have harm befall you or come to you. But sometimes you have to take a stand and just take that risk, man. You know what I mean? Because losing, you can get another job. You can get another job, but you can't get another life. That shit is impossible. You know what I mean? There's always a way, and I know, a lot of people, they'll say, well, you don't know what you would do unless you are in that situation. And that's totally understandable. But at the same token, having conversations publicly like this and putting this information, this is a form of propaganda. What I'm telling you right now, propaganda is not always a negative thing. It's just a spreading of information in order to influence people to think a certain way. And if people think a certain way, they'll start reacting and acting in different ways. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know what I would do in that situation. Well, first of all, I'm not a cop. But even if, like within my job, if one of my coworkers was doing some foul shit to somebody else, especially something that egregious, who knows how we would react. But more people have to start standing up for righteousness. That man could have easily been saved, right? I mean, hands behind his back. He's out of breath. Now, some were arguing, he says he can't breathe. Well, if he couldn't breathe, he wouldn't be talking. But that's all semantics. You know what I mean? So what is he supposed to say? I'm having trouble breathing? Because clearly he was, you know what I mean? So that's all semantics within itself. So, oh yeah, black people, if you're getting choked out, don't say you can't breathe. Say you're having trouble breathing, and then all of a sudden they'll stop choking you, whatever. But more people need to stand up for righteousness. That Asian dude could have been like, okay, chill. He's good. You know, we're gonna put him into the squad car. He's not a threat. And it wasn't just, you know, it's not. I mean, four officers, the actual murdering officer, the two that held down his legs, and the other one that just stood in front of the crowd of people. He was scared as shit. And you know what I mean? Like, that crowd of people could have just pounced on Holmes, man. I seen some shit. Where did I see it? I think it was like a soccer game. Something crazy like in Brazil. Let's say Brazil or South America. And I think somebody ran onto the field bugging, doing some dumb shit or whatever. You know, that have people's rush to the field all the time. So the authorities, they caught this motherfucker, like say he was streaking or whatever, and they started beating the shit out of Holmes, but then they was overdoing it. You know, okay, you caught this motherfucker, this is enough. So they beating the fuck out of him, and then motherfuckers from the crowd hopped out, you know, on the field and started beating the shit out of cops that was doing too much. So we definitely have to see more of that. More people need to step in as opposed of just filming. And you know, the whole rationale is, well, I don't want to get shot, I don't want to get killed, I don't want this bad thing to happen to me. But ultimately, this is war, and when you're in war, there's gonna be casualties. You know, and it's motherfuckers that's gung ho, and you know they care more about liberty itself than life. So there's gonna be motherfuckers that hop out. It just seems like every time these types of situations occur, that type of person, for whatever reason, isn't around. You know what I mean? Like, they always it seems like this always happens around people who are afraid of what's gonna happen to them if they try to intervene. That's why I say the onus, it shouldn't be on the onlookers to stop what's happening. You know, because they're unarmed. They're unarmed. They don't really have any authority, you know, or they don't have as much authority as a person whose job it is to neutralize situations. They don't have weapons. They don't have equipment. You name it. You know what I mean? But your cop, your partner, your buddy that's just standing there off to the side, just looking at what's going on. Now stay back. I'm gonna mace everybody. Meanwhile, this dude fucking dying and shit. He has the equipment. That's his partner. You know, he doesn't even have to be aggressive or anything. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. He's good. You know, just talk to him sternly. That's an adrenaline rush situation. I guess you strangling somebody, you killing somebody. You all angry and shit. Like, I'm guessing like your mind goes blank when you're doing something like that. You're not even paying attention, man. You know, and just all your hatred and your hatred. That's funny. Hatred and rage. I just made up a word. Rage and hatred. All your rage and your hatred is just focused on a motherfucker that you have pinned between the concrete and your patella bone. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take somebody to snap you out of that. It's funny because, like, even when the paramedics came, you know, to put him on the gurney, he still was on the dude's neck. The guy was clearly dead. Foam clearly out of his mouth on the concrete, and he wouldn't get up. The dude wasn't even moving. He's still standing there with his knee on his neck. And I'm thinking, like, what could this man possibly do? Why is this officer so? It's either extreme fear or rage. What has this person so scared that he doesn't even want to let up, even when the paramedics get there? A, or B, what has this man so enraged that he just won't let up even after this guy is dead? I say all that to say this. More of us need to stand up for righteousness, man. More of us need more of us need to start taking a stand when we see these things happening. And more so, the fellow officers and fellow people in positions of authority and people that hold these law enforcement offices need to take a stand. Now, me and a brother was having a conversation. I know a person that's in law enforcement. We had like a real good conversation this morning. Even before I brushed my teeth was all dirty and shit. But fuck it, you know, it's a conversation that had to be had. And he was saying a lot of stuff does happen behind the scenes. You know, there are a lot of people stepping up in these types of situations. It's just not publicized, whether it's in prisons or it just happens to be no camera when this is going on. or when videos like this come out of cops actually standing up for what's right and saving unarmed victims, these types of videos aren't publicized. These types of videos aren't shared. You know, these types of things aren't promoted because ultimately, it's like the powers that be want us all separated, whether it's by race, whether it's by gender, whether it's by age. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's by social status, because it's easier to control the masses when they're all fighting each other. You know what I mean? As opposed to going against the powers that be that are constructing all this bullshit in the first place. Like, black people in the hood just don't get guns. They drop guns in the hood. You know, black people don't own boats and airplanes and things of that nature to get drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? It's powerful people that own shit like this that make it possible for guns and drugs and things of that nature to be in the city. Now, granted, we don't have to use guns. We don't have to sell the drugs to each other. But still, it came from something much higher than us, you know what I mean, in order to get here in the first place. So, but what I'm saying is, like, so as far as changing, like, the whole infrastructure and the powers that be, I think that's something that's going to take, that's something that we probably won't even witness in our lifetime. But these isolated situations that are promoted, like brother Floyd being choked out, or the Ahmaud Arbery situation was different because it wasn't like a black person filming that shit. It was, you know, the person that was filming it was also in on it. But, you know, just regular situations where we're seeing police brutality and it's more than one police officer and it's one cop doing a killing and the rest of them standing around. Y'all got to start being more vocal within those situations. Like I said, as far as what you're going to do behind the scenes, I get it. Me and a brother, we was breaking down the math. You know, I think they say 1 in 25. Because we were talking about, you know, things would change if we get more brothers into the police force. And I will go even further. Not just brothers. I must just say just righteous people in general who have the right mind state. But as far as black folks, like you have to pass a background check. So 1 in 25 black people will be convicted of a felony before they're even 20 years old, right? And then from a health standpoint, there's certain health parameters that you have to pass, and a lot of us have hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, etc. So that eliminates a lot of us. And then a lot of police officers are tenured. Their father was a cop, their grandfather was a cop, their great grandfather was a fucking was a overseer out this bitch, you know what I mean? So it runs deep within the family. So they have family ties that makes it easier for them to get into law enforcement. Whereas a lot of black folks, we come from impoverished situations, and we have relatives and things of the nature that have been in gangs and organized crime. It may not be us per se, but just guilty by association. So that will hinder a lot of our chances of getting to law enforcement, because you're a good guy, but look at your father or your mother or your uncle or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of times where people have missed out opportunities because of what other people have done. That's what they tried to do to Barack Obama when his pastor was cussing out white people. But you see how he quickly denounced him. So basically changing it from the inside, obviously, that's the ideal thing. That's going to change this and eradicate all this bullshit. But it's a far shot. But even with all that, even if you're trying to get different leaders within your precinct, and you know what I mean, you're trying to shake up and change policies and change procedures as far as how police officers deal with citizens, and how police officers deal with other police officers that abuse the system. That don't got shit to do when the camera is going on, right? And you see your partner choking somebody out, doing some crazy shit, even if you're a newbie, even if you are a new officer, man. This blue shield bullshit, man. Y'all got to start looking at the human shield. You know, you got him, you won. The guy's apprehended. He's of no threat. You don't got to fucking just choke him out, man. And the part you can say something, you can at least try, yo, stop. Like, take his attention off with the person that he's fucking trying to kill. Just push him off. If that agent guy would have just pushed him off, whatever, he would have probably got reprimanded or what have you. But this man would still be alive. There wouldn't be no crazy ass riot in Minneapolis right now. You understand what I'm saying? More of this needs to happen. It's like these officers, these fucking rogue cowboy Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood type officers that feel like they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do. They have a comfortability because in their minds they know that their partner isn't going to stop them from doing what it is that they are doing. And that mindset has to change. Regardless of who you change up at the top, that's a long mission. We're not worrying about this mission. We're trying to see changes within our lifetime. You could, even if you don't touch the officer, your partner that's doing that's killing somebody, you could at least say, stop, he's had enough. Okay, let's put him in a squad car. Okay, that's enough. At least say something. Make him snap out of that fucking, excuse my language, blind rage, and just say something. Say something. Doesn't hurt. You're not going to lose your job for telling somebody, okay, that's enough. We could put him in the squad car now. That, you mean to tell me that white cop had that evil asshole had partner said anything, and then they gonna threaten the crowd? That they were threatening the crowd to spray them with mace and get them in trouble just because the crowd didn't enjoy seeing him kill somebody who was defenseless with his hands behind his back in cuffs? You could at least say something. And then the cop talking shit, the agent knew, yeah, whatever, buddy, don't touch me. You should have been acting tough like that with your homeboy that was killing this unarmed, defenseless dude. You know? And that's wild, man. That's fucking wild, man. But I bet you that same they got killed. It's more people within the ranks need to start being more vocal. Not saying they are vocal. I had a real good conversation with a law enforcement officer, and he was saying there was a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes, but they have to move a certain type of way, or they won't even be in there. And I totally get it. It's just like, I love comparing this to Star Wars. You got Star Wars, right? You got the stormtroopers. But every now and again, and the stormtroopers, they erase their memories and they raise them from a young age just to take a certain way. But sometimes, like, certain memories and humanity still stays inside of their brain. And then eventually they become rebels. But in order to be effective in trying to take down an empire, you still have to stay amongst the ranks. You have to stay amongst the empire as much as you can to get as much information that you can, or to influence as many people as you can before you can cause a revolution. So like, say if I become a cop, but I'm gonna say, yo, I'm about to change shit right now, and none of y'all gonna be killing innocent black people. Yo, fuck that. If I see you trying to choke somebody, I'm about to punch you in your face. I'm gonna pistol whip you. You start talking shit like that, you ain't gonna last in the precinct that long. So yes, we want people within the ranks of law enforcement to change things, but they still have to move. It's chess. It's not checkers. You know what I'm saying? They still have to move in a tactical way. You mean? They still have to move tactically. They still have to move tactically in order to execute an effective plan to change shit within there. So I totally get that. I totally understand that. You know what I'm saying? But in the heat of battle, your partner being way too charged, way too turned up on somebody, you know what I'm saying? Now, if the situation isn't neutralized, if they coming at you with a knife, trying to shoot you or whatever, their arms is free and they swinging and flailing, spitting, you know, they got AIDS, that I get, you know what I'm saying? You want to try to neutralize them as quick as possible. I mean, if you got to kill them, they coming at you, you're going to die. That's understand. Kill or be killed. Totally get that. Kill or be killed. I totally get that. When the motherfucker got their hand behind their back and they're under a car next to the tires and both of their feet are held down and you got your knee on their neck, and you can feel like the life drifting out of their body. Not, you know, well, you as a partner see your partner doing this to another human being, yo. Even if you don't push them off, man. Even if and this is for any police officer that's watching this, man. You have a vest, you got weapons, you have equipment. You stand a much better chance of saving somebody's life. You know what I mean? saving somebody's life and the situation being neutralized with the least amount of force as possible, than how some people are thinking and saying, well, if you filming, you might as well just hop in and fight. Like the citizen, it's going to come to that. If some of you cops don't start stepping in, it's going to start coming to that. And it's going to be way more casualties. It's going to be way more paperwork. Your lives are going to be at higher risk. Because it was what? It was 4 cops in that situation. I don't know how many people was behind that camera, but if all the motherfuckers was on some gung-ho shit, not giving a fuck, on some like, listen, we trying to save lives, yo, they could have, I don't care how many guns you got, if they would have just swarmed y'all, man, they would have been fucked. They would have been fucked. And it's gonna, if more of you don't step in, it's gonna start coming to that. And I think the powers that be want that. That gives an excuse for martial law. If you think about it, anarchy. Everybody starting to turn against the powers that be. Everybody trying to fight against the oppressors. That's an excuse for martial law. Well, you know what? We can't control the citizens anymore. We can't control the citizens anymore. You know what I'm saying? They come in, you know what I'm saying? Whether you got guns or bats or knives or whatever, y'all can never, you can never defeat numbers, man. Now you're going to have to start bringing in the National Guard and the fucking military in order to thwart the situation where you could have neutralized it if you, as an officer watching your partner do this, if you would have stepped in at that particular moment. I'm not saying you got to be vocal. I'm not saying you got to go to your superiors. I'm not saying none of that shit. I'm just saying in that particular moment, you know, the job of the police is to protect and serve. Who were they serving by killing that man? Who were they protecting? He was already neutralized. Who were they protecting? Who were they serving? The only person that was being served in that situation is racist white motherfuckers. I'm sorry. And just racist people in general that don't fuck with black people. Because another nigga dead. Yes. I'm sure whatever that faggot name is that did that bullshit, I'm sure he got a GoFundMe set up. Somebody set up a GoFundMe in his name and he's getting money because George Zimmerman set up a GoFundMe for himself after the whole Trayvon Martin situation and he got over $400,000. He became a fucking celebrity. He became a fucking celebrity. It's just unfortunate, man. Some of y'all got to start speaking up. Y'all can't. Some of you police officers, if you claim you're good, like I'm saying, you don't got to be vocal on social media, nothing like that. You don't even have to film this shit. But you got to be more vocal behind the scenes as far as what's going on. We understand you got families you got to take care of. You have people you have to feed. We get that totally, man. The motherfuckers is dying, man. You understand? And people are getting comfortable with this shit happening because not enough of you guys are speaking out on this shit, man. Not enough of you are speaking out on it. You understand what I'm saying? And it's not gonna stop. Hold on, I'm taking a left on Cakewalk Drive. It's not gonna stop until like most people do wrong shit because they it's a combination of things. They think nothing's gonna happen to them, or they either like drugged out or some shit like that. Well, but that's still the same thing. Like their mind is so warped that they don't see anything. They don't see any repercussion for the wrongdoing of what they're doing, of what it is that they're doing, or whatever, for the wrong that they're doing. But if more righteous people stood up and spoke out, why not listen, not after the shit happened, not no motherfucking press conference or anything like that. No, like speaking out and doing something during this, they gonna think more. Like, you know what? I'm feeling like what's the word? I'm feeling like a motherfucking evil ass hero right now, and I want to crack some skulls. But my partner over here, man, he don't play that shit. He's not with that, and he ain't gonna let me go overboard. They have to have that thought inside of their brain before they go out. And for so many to do this, they don't. That tells me that this conversation isn't really being had behind those closed doors. Because if it was, then this wouldn't happen as often as it did, as it happens, man. It wouldn't, you know. So it's on y'all, man. Like, do y'all want to be SS soldiers? The SS soldiers were the soldiers that the Nazis in the 1940s or whatever, and then after World War II, after it was over, and after the Third Reich was disbanded, a lot of them that were tried Well, first of all, a whole bunch of them ran to fucking Argentina, right? That's one. And a lot of them that would try, we were just following orders. But after a while, like, what's more important? Like, the orders that you are instructed to follow, or like humanity, man, human life. What's more important, man? What's of more value, man? You know? You're supposed to, quote unquote, protect and serve, man. Who are you protecting and serving if you allow your fellow officer to just totally abuse their power? Who does that serve? Who does that protect? It serves supremacy. Fuck yeah. Keep the nigga scared. You gonna die if you don't follow and if you don't hear and if you don't submit and you do everything that we tell you to do to the T. To a T, rather. Who the fuck does it serve, bro? I'm just saying, man. Yo. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to find where the fuck I'm supposed to be going. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Not bad. I wasn't paying attention to my GPS. But yeah, man. More y'all gotta take a stand. You gotta step up. It's like my boy Matt. I don't know if my boy Matt is watching right now. He's a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matt, man. He's a doctor or what have you. If he saw like a doctor doing some malpractice type shit or doing something shady or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he would report who was doing it, but I'm sure he would speak to that individual that was doing that shit if it was something that was harming fellow human beings, man, because it goes against the Hippocratic Oath. You understand what I'm saying? Like some of us within the ranks of different positions of authority and power, man, we got to start checking each other, man. And I'm not just putting this on black cops checking other white cops, man. It's about righteous motherfuckers checking unrighteous people, man. Whether you're black or white, man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. You know, righteous is righteous, dude. Righteousness is righteous, man. Period. So that's pretty much all I had to say. I will holla at y'all. # everybody need more green peace.